spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha. He is the blue Protoss. He is Stats.
And the bottom left-hand side, it is your red Terran player. You know him from last game. You know him from the Asus ROG that we were talking about. You know him from everywhere. It is none other than the teamless BYUN.
BYUN is no joke, as he is, you know. Yeah, I mean, he still gives me nightmares from I can't talk. I'm just gonna stop. You go ahead.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look. So we do see something actually a little bit interesting out of Stats. Rather than going for Reaper Wall or going for that kind of high ground position, Stats is actually going straight for a low ground gateway here. A little bit abnormal in TVP. It doesn't mean anything super crazy. It does mean that first unit, that adept or whatever, that pops out, it's a little bit closer, and he already has a couple of structures there in case there's going to be like a Hellion run by into the natural, right? But definitely not the most common of building locations. Of course, doesn't signal anything too crazy.
I think I'm done having my stroke now. I think we're good. So I'm back to talking. For now, at least. What I was saying is, BYUN still terrifies me. Like before, when he played before he left for the military. That's the sentence I was trying to form.
There we go. That is a coherent thought and a very good one. We do see that cybernetics core come down and the Nexus right after. And it's really interesting. So the way that this works is you have that one probe that literally does everything. Comes down here, drops the core, drops the Nexus, drops the second pylon. And then I think, some players then drop the gas at that. Some people, kind of send something else, send the next probe out. Typically what you'll do is you'll stop at 20 probes, right? That's the magic number when you want to drop that core Nexus pylon.
I noticed that BYUN made one Marine and is now making concussive shells and Marauders and adding on more barracks.
A little bit interesting.
Okay.
And I mean, Stats doesn't know this, right? He didn't see the tech lab. He does have the adept wandering over because I think the Marine. Actually, no, the Marine didn't kill the probe. What happened to the probe?
He ran home. He just ran home.
Yeah. Didn't want to die to the Reaper.
I don't blame him.
And so this adept is going to come in here. It's going to try to be annoying.
He knows. That didn't slow. That literally completed. Okay. Well, now he sees the tech lab.
Yeah, sees the tech lab, sees that it is researching something, and seeing that first Marauder, I think, does tell Stats, okay, there's going to be an aggressive push here. And sure enough, we see a shield battery going down. Just because Stats is like, all right, I need to play a little bit safer here. You're getting concussive shell, you're getting stim, you're making units, right? You're not making a factory. I need to be prepared for these units so that I don't just die.
Stats not really one in my experience, at least, to just keel over and die. Yeah,
sure,
that
sure,
easily.
Sure.
That easily.
Yeah.
Until the Marauders come.
Yeah.
And then,
we do have
all the Stalkers die.
Yeah. We have that robotics facility finishing up, and we have the Blink coming down as well. So Stats, I mean, still very standard build. I mean, he dropped like an extra shield battery down here. Probably we'll see, well, usually you'll see like maybe one gas taken at this point into that Nexus, but he's probably going to be able to play a little bit safer here just because of what he scouted, right? He saw that fast tech lab and those fast Marauders, so well, okay, I say that. We have the probe coming over here. It might just be dropping that first pylon that also acts as a spotter pylon for the medevac that would be flying in with, whatever its cargo is.
Marauders, 4 Marauders to destroy everything.
Yeah, Marauders, Marines, mines, whatever. And we do see that. So 1 gas here for Stats. And he is sending a couple units out on the map. Observer is going to make its way over here, and it's going to get a lay of the land. Hopefully he flies in far enough to see all of those Marines. No, okay, doesn't quite get there. Does kind of stop in this, I don't want to call it a safe zone, but it's a zone that's difficult. Even if a scan comes down, he can kind of fly it and abuse the ledge there.
Yeah.
Keep his units safe.
Oh, well, Blink does complete, and Stats is on the way across the map with a Warp Prism. He also brought some Stalkers and Adepts. I think he's on, oh my god, he's on 8 Stalkers. 8 Stalkers versus 15 Marines and 2 Concussive Shell Marauders. Stats does not have Combat Shield yet.
Yeah, that fast concussive does mean that the Combat Shield is going to be a little bit late here. These Stalkers do blink into the main, and they are going to start going to town on these workers. I like this, using the Warp Prism to micro some of these things so he doesn't have to waste the blink. And I believe he made it out without losing a single Stalker there. Picks off 11 Marines there, and only loses that Adept that was on the low ground.
Yeah, there were no Stalkers lost at all. Just impeccable micro out of Stats like we've grown to expect from him. Well, unfortunately here, BYUN has lost 12 of his SCVs so far. More are coming off the line to hold against this Stalker push. 13 have gone down, now 14, as BYUN continues Stats continues to pick as many as he possibly can before continuing to run home.
Yeah, and I think this is a great start here. We do see Tech Choice coming down. Robotics Bay is
Stats continuing. He's just continuing to push. Oh my god, if he breaks this right now, this is going to be absolutely disastrous for BYUN.
Yeah, and I just love how, behind this isn't all in, right? He's got that Nexus coming, he's got the tech coming, and he's just going to continue just killing all these units and all these workers, and BYUN, this is going to be a very tricky situation for BYUN to recover from.
BYUN is, well, I mean, he's a little bit behind after sacking 14 workers, now 16, I think. Yeah, 16 workers and 16 Marines. Bit unfortunate for him. As, oh, well, Stats has loaded into this Widow Mine with 4 Zealots here. As the Stalker Bolt from Stats continuing to fight, pulling the Terran army out of position here a bit. As now, in the main, that Widow Mine is not in the right position. He is going to be able to drop these 4 Zealots out. They do not have charge, but it doesn't matter. The Zealots absolutely easily clean up SCVs with no real challenge. Oh my god, Stats.
I thought that mine was gonna pop all of those SCVs too, and I was just gonna
die inside.
Yeah, part of me is really happy just because I've seen countless Widow Mines destroy my my worker line, and to see the karma, it was a little bit of a Schadenfreude, I guess there. In any case, we do have a Colossus in production here. We have Thermal Lance on the way. We've got a Forge finishing up. So Stats definitely doing all the right things behind this. And I really like his position. Now, does pull home, and there is a little bit of a push coming over here. Has to be careful not to let these Stalkers get picked off. But with Blink, they should be able to escape any sticky situations. And I think he's completely fine against this.
Yeah, he's added on 3 Sentries and Immortal, and now there's Colossi with a second one coming in. He's just going to be able to completely destroy this Marauder base, this Marauder featuring 2 Marine push.
Yeah. And there's just not a whole lot here. I mean, sure, BYUN is pretty even on the army supply, but it's just bio, right? It's kind of low tech, and with the second Colossus, there's just one Colossus out with Thermal Lance finishing here as well. We should see.
There's the second one.
Yeah, there's the second one. Okay, I'm surprised we don't see charge quite yet.
Yeah, I know. Haas did a build without charge, but that's an all-in, and this is not Haas.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to go for a Blink Stalker heavy composition, then maybe you go for more of the Disruptor play. Blink Stalker Disruptor, used to be a very popular build. It's still fairly used, I guess, is the we see it. It's a pretty common build, but with the Colossi, yeah, I would really want those charge lots to just be able to get out in front and kind of tank for these Colossi. We do see that Command Center has to get lifted and fly back here. I don't think actually no, Stats is just gonna go for it. He's just gonna kill it. There's not enough bio here to contest the Stalkers, and the Stalkers are zoning out the Vikings so that the Vikings can't get free shots on the Colossi. And I mean, here it comes. I mean, the boys are coming off the line. Everything is gonna come down to this fight. Some nice force fields gonna zone out some of the bio here. A great Warp Prism micro there, picking up the Colossus right as those Vikings were launching their volleys at it.
Oh my god, he's not going to be able to get the Warp Prism. More non-charging Zealots are here, but Stats is actually, I think BYUN's going to hold. Yeah, BYUN's going to hold. 36 SCVs go down, but BYUN holds.
And I like how this this warp prism gets out because there's 2 Marines in this entire army.
Oh my God.
So the real question is, can Stats just stay alive? Right? He's got a Colossus, two Colossi.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, the other one is still
Yep.
in that warp prism. He's got some zealots and he's got force fields. He just has to be careful not to let these medevacs unload on top of his production structures. Third Colossus is popping out now as well, so I think Stats should be fine. But we do have 1 pylon over on the right side powering all
everything
of those
again. Oh my God. I do want to point out right now that BYUN has lost 55 SCVs this game.
Yeah.
Compared to the 3 probes. The 3 probes from Stats. A little bit of a little drop here on the third, destroying the shield battery. Didn't do
just
a
kind of
lot.
like running in there and getting out.
I mean, it's a decent pick. You know, it's something.
Yeah, and I mean, if we look at that worker count, I mean, BYUN is currently at 29 workers to the 57 of Stats.
We're back at 4 minutes in the game, guys.
Yeah. You know, in terms of upgrades, sure, 1-1 is done for BYUN, and +1 armor is only halfway done. But as that finishes, we also see Charge finishing. We see a Templar Archives on the way. We see a second Forge. So, you know, Stats is doing everything he needs to make sure that he has the composition to handle these units that are coming in to attack him right now.
Oh boy. Well, here we go. The Colossi, Sentry, and still non-charging Zealots. Now they have charge. We're going to try to fight against this. This is a lot better for these Zealots against these Marauders. Stalker's forced into the corner and forced to blink up the ramp here into the main base as more Marauders drop out from these medevacs, featuring, again, 2 Marines, it feels, as BYUN going to go in and pick as much of it as he can. Ground Armor 1 is about to finish here, and it is going to be allowed to finish unless Stats can find that Forge, but it is not in the main base. It is in the natural, I think. Stats continuing to blink on top, picks another medevac. It was not a full one, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, and we see a couple of units ran up to the front, started shooting a gateway, and they're like, oh crap, we don't want to be here, and run away.
Yep, drops out at the third now. BYUN is just everywhere.
Yeah, but I don't think it's enough, right? He keeps on trying to make a little bit happen there, a little bit happen there, but I mean, the supply is 85 for BYUN to 145 for Stats, right? I'm struggling to see what magic BYUN is going to pull out of his hat to make this happen. I mean, we have ghosts coming out, so maybe there can be some big EMPs that melt all this, but I almost feel like the Gateway army alone, well, okay, maybe not. We might need a Colossus or 2, but
yeah, maybe an Archon.
Maybe an Archon.
Oh, this base again going to get picked. Poor BYUN. He's just he's trying to do what he can. Again, he's throwing his SCVs away to Stats, saying, "Here, have them. I don't need them anymore. They can be part of the army." And there we go. Stats just held everything BYUN did with ease. It felt like.
Stats certainly a brick wall. You know
he did not get to become the Aegis of Ire for no reason.
Indeed.
Well,
looks.
So, I mean, I didn't expect it to be that one-sided, honestly. BYUN with some great pushes, but like, jeez.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, you know, there were some nice things on both sides, right? You know, we saw very early on. Oh, is this the right one?
I don't think this is the right one. There are no players here. There's Rotterdam. He's the player now. Yeah,
Leave lobby ROM map.
Okay.
Yeah, we just played on.
Yeah, that was. Wait, did we? No, we just played on Jagannatha.
Oh, you're right. It was the.
Yeah, it was the last game was down, and BYUN.
Yep. All right, so we need to go to the other deserty orange map. They wanted Oxide, not Pillars of Gold.
Yeah, they want the rusted map. Come on, man. Literally every caster's in here. I mean, I don't blame them, but come on. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we take a look at the qualifier bracket, it looks like Dark was able to take out Spear.
ZVZ, yes!
Zolar took out Time. So we do have a ZVZ up after this series. But of course, this series is not yet done. We only have one game down. And got a lot more great StarCraft content to go.
Indeed, we do. Also, thank you for the Prime subscription, Ariok. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for that. Saw that last game. Didn't want to say it mid-game.
Yep, for sure, for sure. So it had a little delay on top of your 2-minute delay.
So, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of, bottom left-hand corner of Oxide. He is the blue Protoss. He is up 1 game against BYUN 0. He is stats.
And in the top right-hand side, it is our red Terran player currently down 0-1. Can he bring it back? It is BYUN.
I don't think stats is a team either, does he? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so. Wait.
Seems
no, he's on Afrika Freaks, right?
I think so. That's what he was last on. I'm not sure. Seems stats is going for the same wall off that he did in game 1 against BYUN.
I mean, it worked last game. No reason to change it for this one. Yeah, I like it, right? You know, it doesn't leave you open. Again, on this map, this is actually, I think this is still a 3-building wallable Reaper jump. Yeah, I think it's fine, right? You don't get abused on that ledge like we saw in that 1 game of Zound versus BYUN.
Yeah, that ledge is just it's a messy place.
Yeah, and here we do see that 20 probe coming down. It should drop the cybernetics core, and then the Nexus, and you see that that probe production stop ever so slightly. Nexus goes down. We should see a pylon coming down in the main somewhere as well.
Stats trying to be the biggest pain he possibly can be, as trying to deny everything. Classic.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about just even tagging that SCV once at the probe is that means if you manage to get your adept across the map, it's going to 2-shot that SCV.
Yeah.
So you can actually, there have been some games, players will delay that CC for what feels like an eternity just because that one darn adept is just, shooting any SCV that tries to come down there. And
this probe's being chased by the jetpack man.
Barely survives here. Now we do have this adept popping out, and it is rallied straight across the map here. There is a shield battery. The shield battery is finishing up, so I don't think stats is gonna lose anything here.
He's good.
Yeah, and the Chrono Boost Stalker is gonna come out. This is kind of I mentioned this I think in one of our earlier games. This I feel a little more standard to see that Stalker come out. Making that shield battery does mean that stats can send that adept straight across, and doesn't quite deny the CC. But that's definitely what he was going for, right? He tagged that SCV once, sent the adept straight across, and was hoping to shut down this command center. Unfortunately, it was a second late.
Unfortunate indeed. But, now the adept's just going to sit there and look, a Hellion is going to pop out for the first time we've seen today, I think.
Yeah. We've been seeing a lot of mines and maybe some tanks here and there. Adept is going to get out. Will survive. And looks like we're going to see that same 3 Widow Mine drop here. 3? Oh, no, actually, because the first Hellion, so it's just going to be 2 Widow Mines, unless he delays it.
Well, if he delays it, Stats is just going to have a lot more to react with it, and that Reaper almost goes down to another Stalker shot.
Yeah, I imagine he won't delay it. He'll probably send it as soon as this medevac comes out. And that's interesting. I wonder if this is intentional, just to kind of throw stats off the scent, be like, okay, you made a Hellion, I need to be in position for a Hellion drop, when in fact it's going to be the mines.
Yeah.
Right. So the Hellion drop, you kind of want to be closer to the edge of your base, just to make sure that they don't unload right at the edge and then roll in, because the problem is those 3 Hellions are going to one-shot your workers. But with the mines, you want to be a little bit closer to your Nexus so that you can snipe down the mines as they're unloading. And we see them unloading now. The probes immediately get pulled off the lines here. Looks like 1 Stalker is going to fall here.
Poor Stalker.
Yeah, poor Stalker indeed. Ooh.
Whoa. Did he deactivate his own shot? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so BYUN doing some cheeky little micro there, unburrowing because he saw all of those probes starting to come back in. He's like, oh hey, if I unburrow and reburrow, I can get a juicy shot of all of those workers that are returning to the line. Stats, of course, reacted appropriately, and we do see now this Hellion is going to die to those stalkers. But with the stalkers out of the way, BYUN's gonna try to boost back in here. We're gonna have to see all the workers get pulled off the line again as these mines come in and unburrow.
I think oh, yep. Yeah, BYUN's just gonna burrow and unburrow. He's gonna wait. Oh, well, one of them, they both go down. Okay, the second one does get the fire and picks the stalker. Bit better. Nice blink, didn't get the medevac, but, you know, shows BYUN that it is here. And he will blink for that medevac.
I think that's not quite the damage that BYUN was looking for, but it definitely kept the stalkers home, right? And oh no, are these stalkers? No, they're not gonna find it.
Oh my, he knows where it is. He knows where it is. He knows it's there. He absolutely knows it's there, and yeah, well, goodbye medevac, you are gone. Unfortunate.
That's with the brilliant plays here, knowing what the path is going to be. You know, you're just going to send the medevac to the right side and fly it straight on home.
I'll find it and I'll shoot it. BYUN now starting his third CC in his natural as 2 siege tanks sit here. And with some help from... He's going mostly Marine this game. Now there are actually 3 siege tanks. I didn't see that one. 2 medevacs load up with all Marines and... Nope, 3 Marauders and some Marines. Gonna boost on out. Gonna go drop the main probably.
Yeah, now one thing that we've neglected to mention is the fact that we do have 1 Colossus already completed here. Thermal Lance is 2/3 of the way done, and Charge is about halfway done. There's some Blink Stalkers that are like kind of poised. I don't think they want to go in here though.
No.
Although they are going to go in as soon as they see the army. Well, so as soon as those siege tanks unsiege, I think that is what Stats is waiting for.
Oh, here's the drop in the main. BYUN now dropping in Stats main as, well, Extended Thermal Lance is about to finish up here. It is going to finish as the Robo facility does go down. Base still up, though, and oh no.
And Charge gets denied by that one pylon.
Stats, man. the curse of the Protoss pylons today, man.
Yeah, Stats comes out, doubles down, drops.
BYUN now pushing with his 3-tank Marine Marauder force as more continues to funnel across the map on what seems like it's going to be somewhat of a 2-base push with a follow-up. As 5 more probes go down, as BYUN's actually 30 supply ahead right now.
Yeah, Stats certainly supply blocked right now. We see that 800 minerals, and he's going to try to take this Nexus over here, but the unloading units are going to try to contest it. They are all going to fall, so this Nexus will survive, but there's still a lot of tanks, a lot of Marines, and a few Marauders on this side of the map, so going to be a little bit spicy here for Stats in the next few moments.
Yeah, well, the 3 tanks in the back unsieged, and now they're going to move forward and siege again. As that one on the ledge is not in range. Stalkers blink away immediately as concussive shells does finish for the Marauders here. The entire Protoss army is now going to be forced to walk into siege tank range to fight this, as the Stalkers blink on top of the siege tanks. 2 go down, 1 goes down, now 2 go down. And, well, BYUN's just going to continue to push in here. The Robo facility bay is discovered, and, you know, GG's called. BYUN takes it back game 2.
Yeah, that was a pretty scary little push that BYUN had here. It's interesting because, you know, kind of similar to game number 1, a few minor adjustments. I'm curious why, you know, like the making that one Hellion, what that really gained BYUN as opposed to making that a mine. Maybe, you know, the extra gas went into dropping something else a little bit faster. You get the star port slightly faster, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, without making the 3rd mine, I think you save, like, I don't know how much gas a Widow mine costs. I think 50? Or is it 75? You can tell we play Terran.
Oh, so we got the next game here.
Yep. Here we go. Game 3. As again, everyone wants to see BYUN the Diamond play.
Yeah. I believe a Widow mine is like, it's 75 minerals, and I want to say like 25 gas. It's pretty cheap, but it's like, you know,
saves that little bit.
It's just that much faster. Yeah.
Well, there's also no concussive shell push like in game 1.
Yeah. Oh, that's certainly true.
That was a bit
pretty cool,
interesting. I'm amazed you called the Colossi drop, though, in the last one. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that. That is certainly a build that that players pull out from time to time.
I remember back a few years ago, Seed, I don't know if you remember him, did a mothership rush that no one expected.
Mm-hmm.
And and then, you know, there's also, you know, Tempests and things like that from Pig Baby, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
All the fun strategies people pull out, like disco balls.
Speaking of disco balls, I mean, I remember when people were just doing crazy, like, oh, I'm gonna fly across the map and just go mothership core blink all
Oh
in,
yeah.
4-gate blink all in.
Mothership core,
That was the
everyone.
time.
Well, here we are hopping into game 3 on Lightshade, tied up 1-2-1 between these two players. Who do you think has the edge in this series now? After we just saw that.
I mean, I still got to give it to my boy Stats. I know BYUN has been on fire recently, but I just, the Shield of Ire, I think I'm hoping it's gonna hold it down.
We shall see indeed. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade, he is the blue Protoss. He is Stats.
And in the bottom right-hand side is your red Terran player. It is none other than BYUN.
Teamless BYUN, once again, impressing the world.
I mean, when you're that good, do you really need a team?
Teams? No, they just hold it back.
Oh yeah. Contracts, paperwork, puff.
BYUN can just practice. He will ladder the entire day away.
So one interesting adjustment that we see here out of Stats, he is going for that, slightly more conservative, I guess, building location instead of building on the low ground. I mean, this map has a pretty wide opening here, so you can't quite close it off with 3 structures as easily. So that could be the difference. And of course, the Reaper wall on this map is kind of gross. Stats actually showing BYUN a little bit of respect, is going to scout around for some proxies with this first probe. Doesn't want to die to some sort of crazy all-in. But other than that, things are fairly standard here.
No one wants to risk it all in game 3. Well, at least not these two. Some people do.
Yeah. And we do see that probe drop the cybernetics core and then make its way down to the low ground to drop the Nexus and then Pylon. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the probe is going to try to be annoying. It doesn't want to stay too long because it knows that a Reaper is on the way. I'm going to say, it's fine. I'll just drop my CC like a hex off, and then I'll just move it to where I need it to be.
Terran buildings, everyone. They lift off and land. Nah. Probes being a pain. A very big pain, actually.
Yeah, but Stats knows he does need to run away with this probe if it does not want to give its life to the Reaper gods.
The Reaper gods.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
Now, I like this battery that Stats has been dropping in his mineral line. This does mean that he can just send that first adept immediately across the map without a fear of losing his own probes. Oftentimes, you have to kind of keep that that adept around until the second gateway unit pops out. But I think because he was able to do a little bit of damage to that SCV with the probe, he's gonna. Well, okay. As soon as I say that, he cancels the shade. So whatever.
Proven wrong once again.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Big sad.
God, combat drugs. Look at it, everyone.
Oh, how interesting. We actually saw another SCV made its way to the low ground and swapped out with the wounded one, just so that if that adept did come over, it wasn't going to get picked off.
It just shows you the level that these guys are at. It's just...
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, BYUN knowing, like, all right, cool, you're going to walk over here and just, like,
Stats is just going to... I think he's just going to run in here with these 2 adepts and try to see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 Marines out here right now, as well as a mine.
He almost made it through that supply depot. Just barely. Yeah, cancels the shade. Oh, another one's coming across the map, and now there's a Phoenix in production at the Stargate that he did make. Well, Phoenix Adept is, you know, oh, well,
Yeah.
one mine
Oh
does
my
go
gosh.
down. Oh, Stats makes it in. Did he just make it in the main? He made it in the main. A
He made
Cyclone
it in
is
the
now
main.
in. Is now coming. Oh, he
Okay.
cancels the shade. Okay. Adept's getting surrounded. Never a fun time. Very bad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a greedy. Obviously, Stats knows what he's doing. I think I am a little too greedy, but I almost would have finished that shade. I mean, he got the information there, but I feel like those 3 adepts could have just
They could have,
powered down these
yeah,
Marines.
they could have slaughtered the 5 Marines and then picked a few, at least like 6 or 7 SCVs.
Yeah. Now, meanwhile, you did point out that we did have a Phoenix, and we're up to 3 Phoenixes.
Oh,
Phoeni.
oh,
At
Phoeni.
this point. Yeah. Got to question mark that one.
Phoenix
as well as,
and Robo Facility.
yeah, we see that Robo Bay on the way, and I like it. I like it. Going for probably Phoenix Colossi. It's going to be the composition of choice. And I think that's going to work really well against this reactor Marine production that we've seen out of BYUN. The real question is he going to be able to hold right now, right? Because we're not going to have a Colossus for this engagement.
Well, if the Phoenix stopped dancing, he can hold. Now there's a 4th one dancing.
Yeah, now this observer does see that the push is coming across the map, right? So BYUN is aware that this is an option.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. Yeah, I was going to say I'd like to see a pickup on the Cyclone. And that is, in fact, what we are going to see. Oh, if he'd gone a little bit farther up, he could have broken that lock on. I think he should be fine, especially with this Immortal joining the army.
One Viking nuked. Oh, a little bit of lag there. I do apologize. Korea over here. Killing my ping itself. Yeah, the Graviton beam to deal with those Cyclones is just great great out of stats. As the Adepts just shade onto these 2 Marines, and BYUN's just like, okay, they're gone. Let it happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend much more thought on them.
Yeah.
And we see that BYUN actually, as a result, has to be a little bit afraid. He's dropping a bunker at the front, finishing the wall with supply depots. And he's got to make sure that these Phoenixes don't fly in here and pick off a tank or some key defensive unit. Observer is going to make its way on over here. I think it did turn around earlier when it saw that big army, wanted to keep an eye on everything. But now it's gone into the main siege. All right, you got 2 siege tanks. You've got 2 tech labs churning away, as well as a reactored starport that's currently
not doing anything. AFK starports, everyone. Oh, speaking of AFK starports, here are 4 Phoenixes not being AFK at all.
Yeah, it looks like they might try to come in here.
Of course, as soon as I say that.
Yeah. We do have a missile turret in here, and there are a couple Marines, so I think Stats has to be really careful if he does choose to go in here.
Yeah, he's just going to elect to leave, though.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here.
I mean, BYUN already put himself a decent amount behind with the first push he did. I mean, he's down about 14 workers right now.
Yeah, and if we look at that income advantage tab, like definitely is favoring Stats, right? You know, it's kind of sawtoothy down there, but I think that's as a mule comes down for BYUN every time. We see that fluctuation.
Okay, we're getting off this screen. The Phoenixes are giving me a headache. So they patrol around in circles. Well,
nice. We almost see one of those medevacs get picked off. A couple Marines are going to go down. A third one will fall as well. I'm surprised he didn't go for the tank, but I think it was the right call because these stim Marines are flying around all over the place. Does pick off a couple of SCVs that are trying to make more racks, so it's going to delay that production even further. And meanwhile, behind this, we see that Stats has this fully saturated third base up. He's getting +1/+1 ground. He's getting charged. He's making more colossi. Chrono boosting those upgrades even.
Yeah.
And I really like Stats' position right now.
He's in such a high economic lead at this point, even considering Mulehammer and stuff like that. That I'm not sure what BYUN can do unless he does a lot of damage with this army here. Well, the Phoenix is gonna go back into the main for a second and just annoy BYUN a little bit.
Yeah, has to be careful. Doesn't fly the Phoenixes straight over all of those Marines. Now, Stats is aware that this push is coming.
Yep.
Obviously, the Phoenixes saw it.
On the back of that, he is teching into Templar Archives here for Storm and Archons. It's going to put
I
him
think that's a great call.
Yeah, it's going to put him in even greater position than he already is. I mean, concussive shell finishing and BYUN's producing Vikings again, but Stats is up 20 army supply, not just supply, 20 army supply.
Yeah, and with the Prism coming out of this robotics facility, I think we might see Stats start to commit to a fight. And I think that's a good idea, right? I mean, he's got a ton of charge lots. He has the 3 Colossi. He's got a couple of Immortals in there, all these Phoenixes as well. I think he flies in there, picks up the siege tanks, gets all the bio. There's a number of ways to do this engagement, but
yep. Stats going and trying to bait out the bio army here of BYUN, as it looks like he's going to reroute the main army missile turret in the mineral line though. Telling him to back up just a little bit. Archons are here as more zealots are warped in, and Stats, it looks like he's just going to commit right now. He's just going to run into this. Tanks are unsieged, actually. Oh, that's not good.
Not the time that you want.
BYUN. Okay, well, he finally sieges his tanks, but it looks like right now the Protoss is just going to rip everything off the ground. The siege tanks doing nothing, wiggling around in the air. BYUN trying to kite back, Warp Prism adding onto this, and it looks like Stats is just going to be able to run away with this. BYUN falls below 50 supply, and he's out. GG, Stats takes it.